Hyundai channel, welcome to our live video series. Give me 1 second, I'm just going to quickly refresh my page so I can see what you are seeing. What we are doing today is we are talking about the Hyundai Ioniq 5. This is their new electric vehicle, and we finally have the official Canadian specs on this vehicle. And that means that we can talk to you about pre-orders. We can give you an accurate information of what's actually coming to Canada. I have a price estimate, which is my guess, but it's a bit of an educated guess. And I can't see what you are seeing here. That's going to be hard for me to do. All right. Let me just refresh the page again. Let's see if I can see it, pull it up here. It will not work. Okay. I'm hoping you can see me. If you guys are in the comment section, if you want to let me know, there's 3 people watching now, 7 people. We've got a bunch of people jumping on. Just let me know if you can see me, if I'm in the shot. I think I am. There we go. Hello, Peter and Teddy Bear. No Teddy Bear today. Okay, so we got comments working. That's super, super helpful right now. Just so you guys are aware, normally I can see what I'm filming. Right now I can't. So again, just some of my regulars, if you can tell me if I'm in the shot, then we will keep going here. What we do is we do a live video from this video bay on either Kia or Hyundai product every single weekday at 2 o'clock. So that's what we're doing right now. Normally we go through an actual vehicle. And if you are interested in this vehicle, hit the subscribe button now because nobody will go through this vehicle in more detail or even as many times as we will here on this channel. So what we're going to do is start with sort of like, let's be honest, this is not a super exciting or entertaining video. It will have good information. So the goal of this video is to show you what we know right now. Now, a couple things I should clarify. One, I may misspeak. So don't hold me fully accountable if I say something just a hair incorrectly there. Also, the information I have now is preliminary information. It can change, and sometimes it does change, but it's a pretty good basis of what's going on. The other thing I'm going to be very careful to do, and I've thought about this a little bit throughout the day, I'm going to be very careful to mention only what is in this information and not what's in media reports, with a couple exceptions, because I want to make sure that I'm talking about what I actually know. So if anybody refers to this video, they will see what we know. Certainly, things like 0 to 60 times, they are on a Canadian media website, and other things. So there is information out there that may be accurate, but if they haven't officially told it to me, I won't officially tell it to you. So if that makes sense, that's what we're going to do. All right, a bunch of you are on right now. Where are we at? 2:01. We usually wait till the 3-minute mark of the video. So we'll give another less than a minute or so just to get going. The reason we're waiting is we have a live audience that joins us. We have a number of people that want to join live. They will be asking questions, and I will be answering as many questions as I can throughout here. If you're not watching live with us, just feel free to leave a comment in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer just about every one of those questions. So the final thing I want to say, and maybe I should say this at the 3-minute mark, I guess we're pretty close to there right now. If you are looking to order an EV, why are we doing this? Well, first of all, in Canada, before we were the Kia Hyundai channel, we worked just with Brantford Kia. Brantford Kia is one of the 3 dealers that support us. Brantford Hyundai, Owen Sound Hyundai, and Brantford Kia are the 3 dealers that support us. Brantford Kia had more pre-orders for the Kia Niro before it came out, before it had pricing. In other words, because of a video exactly like this, we had more pre-orders than anyone else in the country combined. So when we did this, so what that does is it ensures that you get on the list and ensures that you buy the car. We are familiar with doing this, and we'll walk you through. And I can tell you for a fact that those customers are some of our most satisfied customers. So if you want to buy one of these cars and you're in Ontario, after this video is posted, I'm going to put a link of how to get in touch with me. I work with our teams on these cars. We are experts in these cars. If you have questions, I will find out the answer. I will look it up. I will be a direct contact to you. Anybody who buys one of these cars, especially on these initial pre-orders, you will get my contact information. If you have a question about the car, if I don't know it, I will find out about it for you. You can contact me directly on a Sunday evening at 10 o'clock at night. If I'm still awake, I will get back to you. So that's my promise to you. We're doing our best to give you everything you can. We want to be the dealer that sells these cars. We want to be the dealers that sell these cars. So Brantford Hyundai, Owen Sound Hyundai, who you'll be working with, but you'll connect through me, and I will set you up with them, whichever one your preference. Maybe one's closer. So there we go. What will this displace? Good question. We'll see. All right, so let's go right into this. This is information that I've been told for now that I can show on the screen. Sometimes some of these information things I can't show on the screen, but keep in mind, anything in here could change, and it's possible that it will change. So first of all, I want to talk about one thing that I know. One of these is in the country. It's been in the country for a while. It's definitely pre-production. We saw it at Compound. We took a picture of it. I have not shared that picture, and I will not share that picture. But I know somewhere probably head office for Hyundai Canada, one of these is around. And I could tell you, looks bigger in person. And we'll talk about the sizing of this. So it's based off, of course, the modern interpretation of the original Hyundai Pony. You can see some sort of 80s vibe in this as we go through it, but you can also see the very modern lines in this car, very much like the Hyundai Tucson that we just had, the Elantra that we just had here the other day as well. So a lot of cool features, but now let's dig into the specs. Again, we're going to spend probably about a half an hour here. If you have questions, we'll take them. One of our electric people says, once you go electric, you don't want to go back. It's so hard driving a gas vehicle again right now. And that is 100% true. All right, let me zip through here. Somebody says, that's why he's the guru of Kia and Hyundai. I don't know about that, but I promise you I will work harder than anybody to find out the information on this car. If you own this, I will guarantee you that I will work with you for your ownership experience to be top of the line. And let's throw the elephant out in the room. People think electric vehicles, they think Tesla. Ever tried to get a hold of a person in Tesla? Can't do that. You buy from our two dealerships. I will be available to you along with our great teams at the two dealerships. And we're going to make your ownership experience as amazing as we possibly can. And I take that as a personal challenge. I build my reputation on this. So, all right, let's dig through some of these sheets now. First of all, second page here. If I can click it onto it. There we go. Maybe I can. There we go. Second page. A lot going on here. Basically, a lot of this is what we know. It's going to be built in Korea. Start of production August 1st, 2021. So the production cards, again, the car I saw here, pre-production car. There'll be a rear-wheel drive version starting on the 20th of August, all-wheel drive starting on August 1st. That tells you kind of timeline. It's got to be built in Korea. It's got to come across the ocean. It's got to come across the country. It's going to get to you. You want to be early on the pre-order if you want to see it soon. And that's why you're contacting me. We're going to put you early on the pre-order. We'll walk you through that process. We'll talk about that. A lot of cool things in here. Key selling points, all kinds of stuff. Relaxation seats, second row power sliding seats. Those are very cool. Movable center console, flat floor, and slim cockpit. Some of those are available in every trim level. Some of them not so much. Diverse features, unique mobility experience. Okay, augmented reality heads-up display. What is that? I have no official information on that. We all know kind of what that is through doing our research. So this is an example of something that I won't talk about fully in detail, but it will be on here. And as we find out more officially, I'll walk through it officially with you. So those are things that we'll talk about. Upgraded advanced driver assistance system. So that's the Highway Drive Assist 2 and the integrated 12.3-inch cluster navigation display with EV technology display. Essentially, custom software for these new generation of EVs. And when I say these new generation of EVs, these are not vehicles that have been built like the Hyundai Kona right now, which is a gasoline vehicle and a hybrid vehicle. There's benefits to that. There's also a lot of benefits to building just on a platform dedicated to EVs. And this is our first version of that. It can be stretched and added batteries. It can be shrunk. It can be narrowed and widened. So every EV in the near future coming out from Kia, Hyundai, and likely Genesis is going to have a version of this platform. It's called the eGMP. They built it to basically be a modular platform that can lengthen and widen. It's got batteries in the floor. It's got electric motors on either end for front and rear drive. So dual motors for all-wheel drive. Sorry, I shouldn't say front-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. And this platform is built from the ground up as an EV, and it allows you to do some different things that you couldn't do before. So other advanced EV technologies for seamless personalized driving experience, best-in-class charging specs. We're going to talk about that. Full charge in 18 minutes with an ultra-rapid charger. Not on every trim line. We'll talk about that. V2L, vehicle to load, allows bi-directional charge. What does that mean? Well, the commercials that you've seen, if you've seen Hyundai Worldwide on YouTube, they basically show people camping, and you can plug things in. There's also a really great commercial with one of the football clubs, which is a soccer club, where they have a bunch of treadmills running off of the car. So basically, you can put power into the vehicle, but you can also get, I think, 3.6 kilowatts of power out of the vehicle as well, which is pretty good power. So we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Let's move through here. So again, this is just a better representation of some of this cool stuff coming out. First EV with all-wheel drives. That's the first all-wheel drive motor. It's got dual motors, battery down the center, dual motors on the either end. Terrible graphic because it shows sort of like a differential drivetrain, which is a different system in an EV. Ultra fast charging, we'll talk about that. Augmented reality heads-up display. So again, no information on that officially, which is why I won't address it too much. But these are reasons you subscribe to our channel, because as we find out official information, we can start talking to you about this stuff. A lot of the other stuff kind of we knew about. Integrated 12-inch cluster with navigation display, EV-specific user interface. So you've got two big screens there. We've seen this on, for instance, the Kia Carnival. It's got a 12.3-inch single display, 12.3-inch side display. So again, not really out of this world technology. It's already out right now, but the software specific to the EV is going to be great. A lot more white theme in this car. We've seen a real darker theme in a lot of our other cars. Relaxation seats, these driver seats. If you saw me a few weeks ago or a week or so ago in the Kia Carnival with the lounge seats, I was super impressed with those. These look just as comfortable. So again, we'll talk about them again, not in every trim line. Sliding center console with second row seats. Highway drive assist 2, we'll talk about that in the future. Vehicle to low, we talked about. And a columns type shift by wire. So again, that real open space in this car. The Kia EV6 has the traditional sort of wraparound dash where it has the dash ports and the where you would have normally have the shifter. Because you have that open space where you would normally have the shifter, they're doing a column mounted shifter. So drive, neutral, reverse, and park. Looks pretty simple to use there. And again, we can show some of these pictures a little later. Maybe I'll put a couple of these on my Instagram a little bit later for you. All right, coming through. Parametric pixel headlamp. We knew about that. Active air intakes. So that's again air intakes that will open and close as necessary. When they're closed, they're a little bit more aerodynamic. When they're open, they let the air in for cooling purposes. Flush door handles. I wasn't sure if this would make it to production. I kind of thought it might, but I wasn't sure. But it is going to come now with flush door handles. Parametric pixel lamp, rear lamp. If you've been 80s video games, that's what that reminds me of there. Parametric dynamics, basically the sharp crease lines in the door, what they call parametric dynamics. Hey, it's marketing information. I didn't write it. Hidden charge port door, so it's not so much hidden there, but it's up next to the lights on the rear there. Fractal wheels, 19-inch to start. So if you're thinking the size of this car, 19-inch wheels are like pretty much the largest wheels we sell. I think only the Telluride's got, or the Palisade, excuse me, has the bigger wheels. So 19-inch to start, 20-inch as well. Aerodynamic rear spoiler, which is pretty common on just about everything we sell. There's the side, there's the front. Okay, I like what they did here for overall length. They're showing it compared to the new Tucson, the 2022 Tucson. 5 millimeters longer than the Tucson. The front overhang, so right over here, is 50 millimeters shorter than the Tucson. The wheelbase, so the distance between the center of this wheel and the center of that wheel, is 245 millimeters longer than the Tucson. So again, almost the exact same, within half a centimeter of the same length of the Tucson, but you've got a real big difference. The Tucson's wheels would be closer together than these. So that gives you a lot of floor space, does a whole bunch of things, but kind of cool. Rear overhang is significantly shorter, so 190 millimeters shorter than the Tucson. So again, longer between the wheels, shorter behind there, shorter there, for virtually the same length, half a centimeter difference. Overall width, it's also 2.5 centimeters or 25 millimeters wider. So marginally, probably unnoticeably wider than the Tucson. So that's kind of the sense. The Tucson is a bigger vehicle than it used to be. If you're driving a 2021 or older Tucson, the 2022 Tucson is a longer vehicle than it used to be. So this is, again, into the longer side of that crossover, small crossover length. It's going to be a little bigger than some of you have expected, which I think is great for passenger space. All right, jumping in here, again, just more pictures of some of the stuff that we're looking at. There's the column shifter. We'll put some of these on our Instagram page. Mood lighting, we've got the 12.3-inch displays. The flat floor is a game changer. I know that sounds silly to some of you, but it is a game changer there. Do me a favor, guys. Somebody drop a comment just to make sure we're still with you guys. I'm going to bring my, if I can bring my cursor across. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Just want to make sure you're all still here. We have limited comments and I can't see the screen as much. So if you guys drop a comment, that'd be great. Charge port is the right rear. Sorry, there we go. Got a comment there. Perfect. All right, so center console, that's going to be movable. That's pretty cool. These seats, premium relaxation driver seating for the driver. You can see little like foot boards that come up. I'm not allowed to probably say the Lazy Boy style seats, but that's what they remind me of, is the Lazy Boy in my house. So there's an ad for Lazy Boy. I bought one. EV exclusive slim design seat. So again, fairly slim design, and the Vision roof. Look at the size of that sunroof. So we'll talk about that in some of these models. Okay, we're going to kind of whip through here quickly. Got to go back. All right, where is my cursor? Oh, there I am. Click on there. Okay, so headroom is basically good. Front row head and leg room are, essentially class leading. They're comparing it to the Ford and the Tesla. Shoulder room, hip room, we can see that and other things. Specs, I don't really want to show the other specs for some of these. This is where I get a little nervous showing some of this stuff. The big thing is there's 2 battery sides. We'll talk about that. There's an onboard charger. AC level 2 charging, 6 hours and 43 minutes. Pretty good. And then you go into the rapid charging. Now, rapid charging is going to depend on finding the right kind of charger. There's a slim chance that today you'll find a lot of these chargers everywhere. There is still a fast charge, but in as little, with a 350 kilowatt hour or kilowatt charge, 17 minutes and 36 seconds will bring you from 0 to 80% charging. That's insanely quick. Tesla is 30 minutes for a comparable thing. So 17 minutes, 36 seconds, 25 minutes is enough estimate here. And then 61 minutes and 42 seconds. Those are all 0 to 80, depending on the type of fast charger that you find. That 61 minutes is still very competitive on current charge networks. So, current fast charge networks that are out there today expect that 61-minute charge, still very fast for what you're getting as far as kilometers of range. We're going to move to finding more and more 25-minute charge, and it's capable, again, future proofing, and you will see fast chargers explode across this province, Ontario, anyways, where I am. So you'll see those coming, and the point is the car can handle it when they come, but don't expect that day one. Day one, look for the fast charging in that 61-minute range. Skipping past that, forward collision. Okay, so this is all stuff we basically have seen in all of our gasoline cars. If you are shopping for one of these cars, you can see many of these features by just test driving a gasoline car today. Forward collision avoidance, we know that's in cyclists, pedestrians, junction avoidance assistance, those kind of things. Blind spot collision avoidance, driver attention warning, lane keep assist, all of these are current. Highway driving assist 2, again, no official information on that, so I'm not going to comment on it, but highway driving assist 1, we already have. So we're moving towards that autonomous driving, and highway driving assist 2 will have some features. We'll talk about it when they give us official information. Again, we can research a lot of this with non-official information to get pretty close, but I want to make sure I'm staying with official information. Navigation-based smart cruise control, which means you can change your speeds around the curves and speed limit changes. We have some of this already. Rear occupant alert, pretty common. Safe exit assist, pretty common. Surround view monitor, that's that bird's eye 360 view camera. Again, we have that on many of our vehicles. Blind view monitor, that digital dash, when you signal to the left, will show you your blind spot. Signal to the right, will show you your blind spot. Again, all of these you can see. So if you want to see some of the technology of these cars, many cars on our lot have this already. Reverse parking collision avoidance assist, got that. Rear cross traffic collision avoidance assist, we've got that. So all these things that even just about a year and a half ago were like, wow, this car is going to be crazy. None of these things exist. They're all on the lot right now. For most of these are on the lot for technology, and you can see them in existence as you order a car that you haven't seen yet, which we've done. Here's where things get interesting. Okay, here's your 5 trim levels. Essential, preferred long range, preferred all-wheel drive long range, preferred all-wheel drive long range with ultimate package. We're going to go through the specs in these in a second. Here's the thing to remember. Essential, 58 kilowatt hour, rear wheel drive. So it's a little bit smaller battery, bigger than my personal EV. I drive a Kia Soul EV, the small range, short range one. That's 29, 32. Anyways, the current Kona is 64 kilowatt hours. So you got a little bit smaller kilowatt hour battery in that, in this than in that. We'll talk about range as we find out. However, rear wheel drive instead of front wheel drive, and standard range. That essential model, if I was to guess in a somewhat educated guess, I believe that that car will start in Canada at 44,999. Why? 45,000 is a really important marker in Canada. $45,000 car is an important marker. If a car starts under $45,000, if it's an electric car, the current incentives for the national government give you a $5,000 incentive. So they're going to probably aim to start this car at $1 under $45,000, because that means every car up to $55,000 will also get that $5,000 off. Now, I would guess it's going to go from about 45,000 to probably about 65,000, which means somewhere in here you're likely to stop seeing that $5,000 government discount. Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Like, where are we, right? So this is the important thing to remember. I think the plan is, and this is just my guess based on conversations of people who are also kind of guessing and have some information. Nothing's official yet, but I would guess the essential is going to be hard to find car, but because that car exists, it qualifies at least one of the next two, maybe a couple of the next ones for that $5,000 government discount. So there we go. Yeah, small batteries, 38 kilowatt hours. Thank you for EV Evolution is here helping me out. That's really helpful. Well, glad I got somebody that I know I can trust. All right, so again, 58 kilowatt hours. So you're going to get real drive standard range. Then you're going to move to the preferred. It's going to gain the heat pump and the battery heating and that EV ultra fast charging. This is probably where you're going to want to be if you can just stretch a little bit. One, because that car is going to be hard to find, especially early. 2, this is probably where they're going to start. Dealers are going to start stocking them. You get that ultra fast charging in Canada. My personal car doesn't have the heat pump or the battery heating, or it does have the battery heating. It doesn't have the heat pump. So those are things that I think you want in Canada. Um, heat pump, I'm not sure how much you need it. I can get good heat, but it's going to preserve range. It matters to you. If you want to talk about details of that, we can talk about that a little later. But that's where you're going to want to probably start. Then you go up to the long range. This is where we're getting into the real next generation type stuff. 77.4 kilowatt hour battery, rear wheel drive. I assume it keeps all of the heat pump and all that stuff. Then you get into the dual motor of the same car, so 77.4 kilowatt hour, dual motors with all wheel drive. And then you get the preferred all-wheel drive long range with ultimate package. It's got ultimate package features. This is where you're going to see this trim line, and this trim line only is where you're going to see that vehicle to load, that ability to take power out of the vehicle as well. It's going to be where you see those reclining type seats in the front row just on this trim line. So that will be available, but my assumption will be if they keep the government incentives the same as they are today, this will be outside of that price range. So just something to keep in mind when you're ordering. We're going to have to sort of play the game a little bit here as we figure. I do believe this will qualify for the government discount if government discounts stay the same. I do not believe that every car in the package will be in that $45,000 to $55,000 range. I believe it's going to go up to about $65,000, which is still a pretty good bargain when you look at some of the electric cars and the features you're getting, but you're going to be outside of that price range. So there we go. Okay, so let's keep rolling through here. Here come all the specs. This is, if you thought it was boring before, it's about to get more boring now, and I apologize, but if you're looking to buy a car, this is what you kind of need to know. So 125 kilowatt electric motor with 58 kilowatt hour lithium ion polymer high voltage battery. Basically what we're saying is there's two different motors in these cars. Same thing with like my Kia Soul. If you look at the current Kia Soul, technically it's the same motor, I think, but mine's rated for about 139 horsepower. And the higher end Soul is rated for 201 horsepower, which is the same thing as the Kona, 201 horsepower. Ioniq, the current Ioniq is a little different. Now, I don't have horsepower numbers here. The only time I'm going to quote official media, driving.ca does have horsepower numbers, torque numbers, and I'm going to just quote them. Again, this is driving.ca's quotes, not my official information. It's the only time I'm going to quote media. The 58 kilowatt hour pack and a long range, okay, so 214 horsepower and 251 foot-pounds of torque. So compared to my Kia Soul, 214 horsepower, way up, 251 foot-pounds of torque, a little lower. We have 291 foot-pounds of torque on something like the Kona, something like the Kia Soul, Kia Niro, and any range of the Kia Soul. So 291, so 251. So more horsepower, a little bit less torque in the lower range one, or lower range, smaller battery pack. Then you move up to the two-wheel drive. Moving up to the larger battery, 301 horsepower, 446 foot-pounds of torque. That's crazy. And that's the long range all-wheel drive. So you've got some range there in horsepower and torque from 214 to 301 horsepower, from 251 to 446 foot-pounds of torque. They're estimating 8.5 to 5.2 or 3 seconds. Excuse me, it's cut off my page there. 5 point something. It looks like 5.2 seconds, 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 in Canada. So that's, again, the only time I'm going to quote the media because we don't have it here. All right, let's talk about some basic stuff here. Just talk about stuff that sticks out at me. Drive-by-wire, we all know that kind of stuff. Gear shift selector, shift-by-wire gear shift selector. That's typical and other stuff. Regenerative braking system with steering wheel mounted paddles. I've been a big fan of these. A lot of Kia, Hyundai people are a big fan of these paddle shifters. They're not shifters, but what they do is can vary the regenerative braking on the fly. So we're going to keep that in this generation. Big, good step by Hyundai, Kia, or Hyundai especially. I assume the Kia EV6 will have the same, but I wasn't sure for sure if that was coming. It is coming, and it's coming to Canada on every trim line. You need that. That's good. Independent front, multi-link rear suspension, electronic parking brake, So all the safety stuff we talked about before. We'll skip some of that. Adaptive cruise control with stop and go. So that smart cruise control, that adaptive cruise control that can see the vehicle in front of you, every trim line is going to have that. Good decision there as well. Remote keyless entry with alarm and an immobilizer, no problem. Tire pressure monitoring, we have that. Tire mobility kit. Do not expect a spare tire with these cars. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody who's seen Canadian vehicles. 19-inch alloy wheels. Again, the base car has 19-inch alloy wheels. These are huge. So when you look at that car in perspective, the diameter of that wheel is 19 inches. Manual flush door handles. So manual meaning you probably have to push something in to pull it out, but they are flush door handles. Proximity key, push button start, LED daytime running lights, which we knew. automatic MFR LED lights. So that's closer to the lower trim levels of the Tucson, I believe, has the MFR headlights. I'm thinking Kia world right now. It's easier in the Kia. If you look at, for instance, the Kia Sorento right now, it's got MFR headlights until the very top trim. But their point is they're LED headlights. So that's good. Rear spoiler with LED brake lights, LED lights. Dual heated side view with LED turn signals, shark fin antenna, front solar glass, rear privacy glass, so tinted rear windows, hidden charge door on the right, on the rear side panel. Somebody said passenger side, I think. So again, hidden charge door, not so much hidden, but there we go. 12.3-inch electroluminescent gauge cluster with EV technology display and 12.3-inch navigation system with EV technology functions. So short answer is both of these, every trim level of these car will have the large 12.3-inch display in front of you and a large 12.3-inch display in the center console. So that the only vehicle I've seen with that. Does the Palisade have that? No, Palisade doesn't have 12.3. Oh, maybe it does. But the Carnival is the only one I've seen in the Kia world. I'll have to double remember. My Palisade information is not great on my top of my head. Leather wrap steering wheel. Oh, that says leather wrap. Now I believe that might be an artificial. Everything else is artificial leather. We'll have to double check that. Tilt and telescopic steering wheel with audio controls, cruise control, phone controls. 8-way power driver seat with adjustment for 2-way power lumbar. 4-way manually adjustable front passenger seat. So power driver seat standard in every trim. Heated front seats standard in every trim. Very good job. Don't take that out of Canadian cars. LED interior overhead lighting, LED illuminated vanity mirrors, power windows, driver's auto up down, sliding second row seat. So you do have the sliding second row seat, which gives you more cargo space, or you're going to have more rear seat space with that sliding second row seat. Dual automatic temperature control. So that's the with the driver only mode. So that's dual zone in every trim level as well. And then you get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius satellite radio, HD radio, Blue Link connected car system. So again, in every trim line, that Blue Link system, that means that's a cell phone app. A lot of people like it on the gas cars because they use it as remote start. And that's probably 90% of gasoline car buyers, what they use that app for. On an EV, it's a really helpful app. I use it on my car. I have the Kia version of it on my Kia Soul EV, and it's got state of charge. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. And of course, they're going to continue to improve that stuff. So you can glance at your phone in the middle, like, oh, the car's at whatever many percentage charge. So I have enough kilometers to do whatever. You can see a kilometers left. You can do things like remote start it. In other words, turn on the climate system to get things ready. It's a really good app to have on an EV. So they're continuing it. And again, it's on every trim level, which is excellent news. Center console with storage compartment and armrest. Second row bench seating includes 60/40 split down and folds almost flat. I love this because it folds almost flat. People ask, does it fold flat? Well, it almost folds flat. So they actually just put it in our information. Folds almost flat. Front and rear cargo seats with cargo hooks and cargo area lights. All right. That's a standard on essentially everything unless it's taken over or changed in the higher trim levels. Preferred all rear-wheel drive standard range. So this is where I say you're going to get really the car. This again is probably the one that's going to come in just a hair, maybe a $1 under that 45,000 if I had to guess. That's sort of on everything. Now you're going to get the car you're probably going to see on dealer lots, which is the preferred. So that was essentially we talked about preferred. I know we're running along here a little bit, guys, but we'll keep going. EV ultra fast charger up to 800 volts. You want that. You just do. That's the point of buying the next generation of EVs. If you don't buy that, then you can start considering a Kona compared to this. If you like this car better than the Kona, then buy it. But the Kona technology, some of the stuff is going to be similar. That ultra fast charging is that game-changing technology that really turns us into a really gasoline replacement car, including on road trips, especially as that charging network gets built, which is happening very, very, very fast. Heat pump and battery heating system, we talked about that as well. Those are things I think you would want in Canada. That battery heating system in Canada, I think, is that thing you would want. Heated steering wheel on this trim level, so you don't get a heating steering wheel to here. 6-way manual adjustment front passenger seat. So instead of the 4-way manual adjustment, you got a 6-way now. Adjustable head restraints for all seating positions. What that tells me is probably the rear seats won't have adjustable head restraints on the lower trim level. And rear seat center armrest with cup holders. Probably no armrest at all in the rear seat on the Essential. All right, going through here, let's just jump ahead. Okay, preferred long range. So now you go to long range. Everything we just talked about. The only real thing they're adding is a 168 kilowatt electric motor with, so in other words, more powerful electric motor with the larger battery. That's basically what you're adding for, again, preferred and preferred long range, same basic car. I like that. I like the way they did that. You don't have to step up to get the options. You either decide you want the range, which you get some more power, or you decide you can handle a little bit less range. And I will say, before you buy an EV, everybody thinks, oh, I need like 500 or 800, 1,000 kilometers of range. What you're doing when, like in my case, I bought the short range car. When you're buying more range, what you're doing is you're paying up front for that range. So, like my parents bought the Kia Niro EV. It's about $10,000 or $11,000 more than my car. They have a little bit more range than me. It's $11,000 insurance policy so that they can do trips that I can't do. There might be twice a year where I go on a trip where I need to plug my car in where they would have made it, right? So you got to keep in mind, if you don't need that range, you still have, especially if you go one trip down, you've got that fast charging network. Even if it's not the ultra fast charging, you stop for an hour, you get 80% charge on the slowest fast charging network, the existing technology today. So if you're buying the longer range for 2 trips a year, it might be worth just getting the shorter range and planning a lunch stop on that 2 trips a year instead of planning to just drive straight through. Just something to keep in mind. That's something we'll talk about in future videos when we see these long range and short range ones. So when you move from preferred rear wheel drive, you go to preferred all wheel drive. Now let's talk about rear wheel drive versus all wheel drive. Electric cars are fantastic in the snow. A rear wheel drive would not scare me in the snow because we're going to have what I expect to be excellent traction control. Electric motors have less momentum. You can really control that power on and off. I do recommend snow tires in Canada, winter tires, excuse me, that's what we call them. I think if I had winter tires and rear wheel drive, for me personally, no concerns at all. Now, some of you used to front wheel drive cars, used to all wheel drive cars, you may want to go for the all wheel drive. That thing is going to be incredible in the snow. We know with, again, with winter tires. And then you're going up again in power, 239 kilowatt electric motor. So we're, or maybe are we gaining the 168 kilowatt. I don't remember. Let's just go back for 1 second. Yeah, 125 kilowatt, 168 kilowatt, and now we're moving in the all-wheel drive to 239 kilowatt. So now you got something that's really quick, like darn right fast. A lot of power. That's probably in that range of that 301 horsepower and 446 foot-pounds of torque. Torque is what you feel. That's an insane amount of torque in a car this size. So now you got really quick all-wheel drive. You're going to hook up and get power. You got the long battery pack, and you got all-wheel drive. So preferred range, that's a great vehicle. All-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, and the long range there. So kind of an interesting way to do that. So by upping the horsepower, we'll see how that all plays with range when they get official range estimates there. But there we go. Then you move in preferred all-wheel drive with the ultimate package. Now you can see that ultimate package adds a lot. Which one of these fall in that government discount right now? We'll find out. This one, it's very likely not going to. It would flat out shock me if it did qualify the government discount. So now you're getting a real true class-leading EV in every way. Remote smart parking assistant. So smart parking assistant, we've seen the smart park, as they call it. You're going to get some of that. Highway drive assist 2. Again, as I have more information, tune into this video. We'll tell you about it more. We'll do test drives with it. We'll show you it on the road. Surround view monitor, that's that 360 camera. Blind view monitor, that's the camera that uses the same systems, looks in your blind spot. Forward collision avoidance assistance. So again, avoidance assistance, you're going to have avoidance assistance in previous models, but you may not have it for all of pedestrian, cyclist, junction, turning, and crossing. You're going to have some sort of level of that likely earlier. I mean, it's just you're going to. But now you've got the proper full system, which again, you can. This system is available in our cars today, our gasoline cars, but you don't get the full system with cyclist, junction, and turning until the higher trim levels. Parking collision avoidance assist in reverse, parking distance warning forward or reverse. So again, auto stop. This is the only one you get the 20-inch wheels. So 19-inch wheels, very large wheels and everything, 20-inch wheels on here. I haven't seen a design difference in any of these wheels, so I wonder if there's a design difference. We'll have to see that when it comes out. Power folding outside mirrors, that mirror housings fold in. Full LED headlights, low and high projection. So that's different than the MFR headlights. There's the full LED. V-LED guide front and rear. I'm not sure what that even is. V-LED guide, light guide front and rear. I'll have to dig into what that is. I think I've heard of that, but I don't remember at all off the top of my head what it is. Auto flush door handles. So that's the manual flush door handles and the auto flush door handles. Remember I said I didn't think the flush door handles would make it to production? They did, but there's a manual and an auto, so it'll probably automatically come out as you're approaching the car. There'll be something like that. We'll find out. Vision sunroof. The only one with the sunroof is this model. Rain sensing wipers. We all know what that is. Hands-free smart power liftgate with auto open. So it's probably the only one with the power liftgate is my guess. Two-way onboard charger. That's, again, you can take power into the car and you can take power from the car. If you're going camping and want to plug in your whatever it is to the car and have it run, this is the one you want. Wireless device charging. Little surprised I didn't see that in an earlier trim line. Normally you would spend less money to get that in our Hyundai lineup, but that's where it is. Bose audio with the 8 speakers, leatherette seating surfaces. So maybe those should be cloth. I guess we'll double check that in a second. Premium relaxation driver seat. So again, those fancy seats here. 8-way power passenger seat with power lumbar, ventilated front seats, heated rear seats. So the only ones with heated rear seats are right here. Advanced heads-up display with the augmented reality. Looking forward to see what that is in person. Ambient lighting, integrated memory system. Don't know what that is. Integrated memory system. Is it memory seats? Is it something else? I don't know what that is. Sliding center console, power windows. So this is the front sliding center console. Power windows with auto up down, auto dimming. So auto up and auto down, I guess. Auto dimming inside rearview mirror with home link, so it can open your garage doors. Rear door sunshades, probably the ones that come up out of the spot. We've seen those in the Santa Fe, Palisade, that kind of thing. And cargo cover in the rear. Almost done, guys. Seats, colors, everything else. Black, 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 gray two-tone, black, gray two-tone, teal, gray two-tone. There's the dots on where they are. Outside colors, phantom black, cyber gray, shooting star gray, atlas white, lucid blue, digital teal green. The only car that gets every type of interior possible is the white one, atlas white. So you'll see some of those a little bit later. You can talk to your salespeople about that, and that's it. We've covered it all. So that's a lot, guys. I haven't seen a ton of comments. I know I went on and on and on and on. Let me just go back. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them right now. Yes, auto handles are auto presenting, so that's EV helping me. Feel free to check out their channel as well. They're awesome with this kind of stuff. And there we go. He's helped me answer a couple questions. Not a whole lot here. I think that's it. So again, there are reviews. That's a good point. Can you see if it offers wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay? That's a great question. So currently in the Kia Hyundai lineup, 8-inch screens for the most part are available with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. 10.25-inch or 12.3-inch screens are not. Now, the only information I'll be able to get is from Kia people specific to the Kia K5. That car has an 8-inch screen with wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. The 10.25-inch screen at time of sale does not have it, but they have confirmed to me that there's a future software update that will enable wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay on the K5. If they're going to do it for the K5, they're likely going to do it in the future, and that is basically any K5 sold today, any K5 sold, you're going to have a future software update that will allow wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. If that's the case with that, I expect it to be the case with any of those vehicles that came out since that time. I can't get anybody to confirm that for me yet, so it's a great question. Will those 12.3-inch displays have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay? I would guess at this moment they do not. It's certainly possible of an update happening that would allow it in the future. So there we go. What will the price on average? So the price, if I had to guess, and this is me guessing with a somewhat educated guess, we're in that $45,000 range. It's going to be $1 below $45,000 for the entry level, if I'm guessing, because that qualifies them for that government discount of $5,000. That's what we're kind of being hinted at here. That's where their goal is going to be, from what I understand. Now, that could change. I could be totally wrong on that. But if it starts at that under $45,000, that $1 less than $45,000, that means cars between that price and $55,000, or just under $55,000, will qualify for that $5,000 federal rebate in Canada at this point, unless that changes. And then I expect it to go from about $45,000 to $65,000. That's my semi-educated guess. I could be given bad information on that. There is no official price on that yet. So expect that $45,000 to $65,000. Expect some trim levels to qualify for that $5,000 discount. Do not expect the top trim level to qualify for that at all. It's going to be a lot more features, a lot more car. It's going to be outside of that $55,000 range. So that's my guess. Is the Santa Fe PHEV coming to Canada? Because the U.S. website says coming summer 2021. I haven't checked Canada's website. So Santa Fe, let's talk more about the Tucson PHEV. That's the next one we're going to see with the PHEV in Canada. That's the only one I know of officially that it's coming. I would expect all these PHEVs to work their way to both trim lines. There we go. So EV Evolution agrees with me. That's cool. He knows a lot of this stuff. It's certainly better than me even. I'm just trying to give you the official information that I can. All right, we've gone on a long time, very long time. We're going to leave like that. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the subscribe button. As I have more official information, I will share it with you. Evolution, if you're seeing him in the comments, EV-OLUTION. They have good information as well. Subscribe to them. He can say stuff that he sees across the internet. I try to stick with stuff that I have with official information, and I let you go to other websites to see stuff. There's a lot of things we can assume. There's a lot of things that I feel like I know, but I'm very careful to say things that are official. And at this point, that's what's official. Now, this could change. Some of this information, it's preliminary information. We're told that right from the beginning. It could change. So if it does change, then it changes, and we go through from there. But if you're looking to order the car, as soon as this video is done, there's a link below here. If you're in Ontario, you can connect with me. I will connect you with our dealers. We'll get you on the pre-order list, and we will follow this car through with you. I will make sure that I am a contact of yours when you buy the car, when you purchase the car, and you and I will connect, and we will make sure that you have the best possible ownership experience. There we go. Brantford Hyundai, Owen Sound Hyundai, they are our supporting dealers. Brantford Kia as well. We are EV leaders, guys. We'll do our best to do everything we can for you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I need a little drink, dry throat. Sorry it was so boring, but at least we got information. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I got to jump around with the camera and finish it up. Have a good day. We'll see you again tomorrow.